Kirk.
And this is Byrd. It's the Kirk and Byrd show. And we are blessed to have with us tonight Coach Willie Gause, also known as Coach G, all right, of the Kecoughtan Warriors from our hometown, the HPT, all right, the Kecoughtan Warriors. And he's the head basketball coach. They're undefeated, all right.
No, one loss.
Oh, that's right. One loss.
Research.
One loss. But come on, man. I can't keep up with all of it. All right, so look, one loss, all right, but he's got this team in the regional semifinals, Division 5. Coach, welcome to the show.
Man, thank you so much. It is an honor to be with you guys. I've been a fan of the show from a distance, and so I'm just happy to be on with some hometown homeboys.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's us. Woodland Road, right down the road from Phoebus. Coach, I know you got a huge game coming up Friday at the Scope against a great Menchville team. Matter of fact, we had Coach Struthers on right before you. We wanted to save the best for last, as Vanessa Williams said. And we just want to talk to you about, your team. You opened up against Woodside, and the last time your team lost was November 30th. So you're going on 3 months. You got a great team. You played in some packed houses. You got a lot of pressure. This game on Friday is for going to Richmond in the Siegel Center, and it's hard to beat a team 3 times. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you and your kids are preparing for a big game? Probably some of them, it's the biggest game they've ever played in on Friday night at Scope.
Well, I mean, we've mastered the art of having short-term memory. And so, we celebrate every accomplishment, wins or losses, for 24 hours. And then once we get back in the gym the next day, then we just focus on the next task. There's a quote that I always tell them, the hardest road to travel is the road in front of you. And so we just focus on that. And so, we just focus on doing our job. We don't look in the rearview mirror. We look at what's in front of us. And so, that's how we've been able to do it. And, we don't talk about the pressure. We just talk about, what an honor and a blessing it is to continue to have the right to practice. And so we're just enjoying the moment. And I think a lot of times, that's what we forget. Even in this world of high school sports with the pressure and the names and all that, these are still kids, and they're still, in high school. And so, yesterday we didn't have practice because, they had senior pictures, and people was like, wow, you're not going to have practice and you're preparing for a game. It's like, but this is senior pictures. So, so that's what we're doing. We're just enjoying the moment. And so, we're just, business as usual.
And
Coach,
Rusty, let me let you go real quick, though. I want to give out some props to Coach Jeff Super, football coach. I hit him up tonight, and I said I really wanted to have Coach Gause on, and he's like, let me help you out. And so we just want to tell Coach Gause, thank you very much, and we appreciate him. Go ahead, Rusty.
Yeah, so, Coach, I apologize again. Now, you had a winning streak since the first loss to Woodside, which you avenged later in the year. And it looks like after beating Woodside, bro, you took it out on people. What was your average margin of victory this year? Or if you don't know that specifically, I'm just going to say, bro, I see a bunch of 30, 40, 50-point wins. Like, how are you doing this in the PD?
We have a goal that we just want to have more points than the other team at the end of the game. And so,
you're doing a good job.
I mean, that's just and again, it's about the kids, having fun, and that's what we're doing. We're just playing a game of basketball and just fun, and that's just, and that's really, it's not cliche. That's really, really what we're doing. It's just having fun, and so I can't even tell you, man. I can't even tell you how much we won by the last game. Because literally, it's like, once it's done, it's over, and we just look forward. Now, if you probably asked me in the summer, I'll probably know, when I got time to get on the golf course and let some of this black get back in my beard. Then
I hear you. Hey, hey, yeah, I feel you, Coach. So and I'll let Kirk ask a follow up. But one thing I will say is we had Matt Hatfield on from Virginia Prep, and
Yes.
we talked about it yesterday on the show. But I talked about this during football season and the fact that Smith and Phoebus had one loss. Now, your loss was in the beginning of the year, but Coach, I get a little nervous. Now, I've coached sports myself for the last, 20 plus years, and coached a lot of youth, but middle school sports, and I've had some undefeated seasons. But sometimes I don't mind one loss at some point because it helps me to kind of, like, guys, we're not perfect, but it also gives me that film, and I can say, look, this is where we can improve. It helps me with the kids, but also as a coaching staff. But do you? And I tell you, I'm pulling for some teams up here. Hayfield's undefeated. I watched Patriot tonight win by 2. They're undefeated. And they're Division 6, so you don't have to beat up on them. But do you see any? And I know your players are, you don't ever want to lose. But do you see any value? Did you get anything out of that loss?
Yeah,
definitely. You always, people say there's no more victories, and losses. But what we got off of it was the pressure. When you're undefeated, you have that pressure. You have that, that proverbial, monkey on your back. And so we got that monkey off our back early. And so, now, you're able to use that. You're able to use that as motivation, to go back and say, hey, you remember that sour taste in your mouth, let's not have it again. So you either want to, you either want to eat, regular bread, or you want to eat moldy bread. So, this is your choice. So this is the thing you have to do. And then, we learned a lot from there, from preparation standard, from, what you have to do, per game. And the greatest thing about playing in the PD, I always say all the time, the PD is like I call it the ACC East. It's like, it's like the Big East and the ACC put together, because at any given night, somebody could, somebody could get tripped up. So, and so we've been able to, keep our focus and be able to focus on the things in which we do. And I think that's been our formula for success this year. We have a lot of film study, and we focus on the things in which we do to try to, better, better ourselves and, perfect ourselves. So a lot of times you can spend a lot of film study and you go into a game, almost looking like your opponent because you prepared on them so much and you haven't worked on yourself, so you can go 7 for 20 from the foul line, but you haven't worked on any free throws in practice because you've been working on the trap that you're going to see. So that's just approach, that we've taken this year, that we believe that if we can be the best us, then we can be a tough team to beat.
Right. Coach, why don't you tell us about your team? I know DJ Campbell is a centerpiece, but obviously you're a well-balanced team, and you've beaten some teams with some great size. But with us being up here, I went to a game tonight and went to a game last night, going to a game on Friday night. But tell us about your team. Tell us about what's basically the nucleus of the team, your rotation. Are you small? Are you big? Are you quick? Do you press? Those type of things.
Well, I think, we are a above average high school team. I think the greatest thing that we have is we have chemistry and continuity. These guys have been playing together for about, 2 or 3 years now. The COVID year really helped us because we were not boxed into the VHSL schedule. So we were able to play 40-some games. We were able to travel, go play in tournaments where they could get to know each other. And you play in tournaments, going out of town and things of that nature. So just those moments of being able to play with each other, learn, their likes and dislikes. And so we have a team, and, we're led by an unbelievable player in DJ Campbell, who has always had the skill set, but this year, just his leadership, Being able to, be that leader on and off the floor, and being somebody who the kids can emulate through his work ethic. And so sometimes you have leaders that are selfish, and but DJ is not that type of kid. He's literally the first kid in the gym, last kid that leaves, and he works. And so the kids are able to see this tangible example of, if you work this hard, all those goals, this is what a Division I player looks like. This is what a player of the year works like. This is what he eats. This is what he, how he dresses, just everything, how he carries himself. And so they're able to emulate that. And then we have some great, talent. We have two of the, probably the most prolific shooters in our district with Justin Bass and Jaden Pace on the wings. And then we have Kenny Page, who is a lightning quick guard that can defend his position and is a great floor general who complements DJ in the back. Then we have a football guy, Jakari Moselle, who is an Emory and Henry signee, who brings that toughness from the football field, who is a football player at heart, but a basketball player first. So he started playing basketball with us his 9th to 10th grade year, and then took off 11th grade year to focus on football, and then came back, this year to, finish the ride with us. And then we have a great young kid in the middle, Kevin Copeland, who we found, playing volleyball, and just saw him and said, "Hey, man, you ever thought about playing basketball?"
He can jump if you play volleyball.
Yeah. And so, and the greatest thing about him, he's raw, he's undiscovered, so he listens to everything that we tell him. And then, we have key reserves, Deshaun Armin, who is coming into his own, and Tyler Struble. And then we have another kid, Marcus Page, who was a transfer that came in from Ohio, who just, came and meshed. And so we have that nucleus, but the greatest thing that helps us a lot is that, is the amazing coaching staff that we're blessed to have. I literally have, 5 head coaches, with, you have Dwayne Campbell, who is, is DJ's father, but, he's been, through his, going through his maturation process, he's been there. So, he's able to look at the game through the eyes of a head coach. Howard Pace, who is, not only coaching with Boo, but then he also, is our strength and conditioning guy. And then we were blessed to have Dimitri Batten, who played at Kecoughtan and was a, 1,000-point scorer for his career, played at ODU and Boston College. Then we have Coach Pope, who brings, the statistical and the analytical side. And then, you got Coach Hall, who's a living legend that's seen everything there is about basketball. Yeah. So,
my man, Richard, Coach Hall.
Richard Hall. So, it's very balanced from coaching as well as the players. It's not a one-man show on the floor, and it's not a one-man show on the bench. I don't even do the subbing, so I'm able to just control the game. Coach Campbell handles the subbing, Coach Tree, sees the adjustment. Coach Pace has the stats. Coach Hall is looking at the opponents and seeing what they're doing. And then Coach Pace runs the defense, and I'm just able to manage the game. And then on the floor, it's the same way. If you double team DJ, we can put another guard out there. We got other shooters, and just everybody does their job, and they have the same, work ethic. And, it's just a very balanced attack.
Yep. So, Coach, we want to tell the listeners and your kids, we've got a lot of kids following us on Twitter, but our YouTube show, where this is going to air tomorrow night, we'd like for them to subscribe to the Kirk and Byrd, BYRD, the only way to spell Bird, show on YouTube. And we're also at the Kirk and Byrd on Twitter, and that'll be on the screen. And we know the young kids like Twitter. We got a lot of Kecoughtan followers, but I wanted to transition. And, Kecoughtan is a program that I believe in has not won a state championship. And you come from a school that has legendary coaches. Roger Hathaway was a legend at Kecoughtan. Boo Williams started at Kecoughtan. And Revis Conrad coached some great teams when we were there. I just want to do a quick shout out to my friends, Russell Alves, Ray Washington, Kevin Brown, Jerome Boyd, Darren Swan, Billy Coles, BC, and John Dixon. I'm probably forgetting.
And the Brown brothers, Milan, all three Brown brothers.
Milan, Marseille, but Milan was 2 years behind me. He was the kind of guy, when he hit a jumper, he had to tell everybody in the gym that he hit it. So, and by the way, Pitt beat Carolina the other night. But
hey, watch that.
Oh, that's you.
I'm a Carolina fan too.
Wait a minute, Coach. Coach. You from Durham? Are you Duke?
From Durham.
No, I'm all Carolina. If you from Durham, you don't like Duke. But that's another. For a whole nother podcast.
If you're on the planet Earth, you don't like Duke. Come on now. But
that's another story.
Let's transition, because you got a big game. You're playing a great team. We just had Coach Struthers on. All right, so we encourage everybody. We did a nice playoff preview with Matt Hatfield. He's at Hatfield Sports on Twitter. A lot of people follow him. He had all the scores tonight. And I picked Kecoughtan to win. Okay, I picked Kecoughtan to beat Menchville. Little pressure on you, and I also picked you to win the state. So don't let us down. However, what do you and your team need to do? Because you've got a tough task. You've got to beat a team for the third time who's very good, has lost 5 games. 2 of them were to you, very close. Varina, Woodside, and Bethel. So they're going to be pumped. And then, what do you need to do? And I know you're concentrating like a good coach on what your kids need to do. However, to prep this, what are you doing to get those kids ready to play right? And at this point, it's all about execution and focus.
Well, first thing I'm doing is, I don't know if Coach Struthers told you, but to add more pressure, I'm the head of security at Menchville High School.
Oh, you are? Okay.
You are?
Yes, I am. So
okay.
I'm going to pull the fire alarm at around 3. Really again, really again, man, it's just
you need to go by all the lockers of the athletes, basketball players.
Let me tell you, it's so funny because Coach Struthers came in today and people were talking to him. He's like, "Don't talk to him. He's the enemy. Like, don't talk to him." And I'm like, "Hey, Coach, I'm checking birth certificates, transfer,
addresses,
right.
But I mean, really, what we've done is, we haven't taken the pressure off. I think a lot of times you kind of try to, as the kids say, kind of play them, kind of make things, don't give them a touch of reality. And so what we gave them, is a touch of reality. And that reality, has helped us, let them know that, hey, they look up in the gym every day and don't see a banner, and so, we have the opportunity to be history makers, and who wouldn't want to be a part of history? Mm-hmm. And so to be a part of history, we got 5 left, and so that's been our goal. That's what we worked on. That's what the coaching staff had a dream, 5-6 years ago, whenever we got together, that, we wanted to put a banner in the Kecoughtan gym. And so now we're 5 away. And at the end of the day, no matter who we play, we control that. And so if we play our best, again, it's not cliche, but it's really reality. If we play our best, and we are a difficult team, to beat. And so just remembering our goals, and just every day, like you said, we have the greatest thing about being on this streak is that we're used to pressure. I mean, every night you've been getting guys' best. And, like I told the guys, quote Mr. White, Howard White, with Brand Jordan, who is a alumnus, who has given us unbelievable support. I talked to him at least twice a week. He gave me a quote, and he told me, Coach, this season, it's not going to get easier. You just have to get stronger. And so, that's what I tell the guys. Right now, the player of the year was nice for DJ. The coach of the year was wonderful for me. The district championship was wonderful for the team. But, starting Monday, everybody's record was 0-0. And so now, it's a 5-game season. And so we have to be at our best. And so we're used to pressure because being on a winning streak, everybody wants to be the team to stop that. And so we've been dealing with this pressure since November. So the guys are kind of, adapted to the pressure and, they don't even think about it. It's, that's why you come to Kecoughtan. You come to Kecoughtan to have that pressure, to be in a program, like you said, you talking about the Revis Conrads and the Marseille Browns, the Brett Harpers, the Ricardo Radcliffes, the Dimitri Battens, the Marcel Haskins, the Rodney Bullocks. It's just been a long line.
Faisal Abraham, you don't want to forget him.
It's been a long line. The Howard Whites, it's been a long line of players. So, you come to 522 because it's the home of everyday greatness. And so you want to be able to carry on that legacy. So if you come to Kecoughtan, you're used to pressure. And so, that's just what we've done,
Yeah, it's not fun when you have Phoebus down the street with 8 state championships in football. That's just that's not easy. But I want you guys to get that banner. So, Rusty, let's we like to get into. We talked to you a little bit before we started recording about where you've gotten, where you are. Rusty, help us. Let's go down memory lane with Coach. You're a little bit younger than us, North Carolina Central guy. Rusty, this is where I turn into Ed McMahon. All right.
So this is where. All right. So look, Coach G. All right. Tell us a little bit about how you grew up in Durham. All right. What was it like? What were your sports? Do you even have game? Some people can coach but don't have no game. But do you have game? Like you said, you were in that gym and you were playing in the men's league. Did the guy say, well, he has a knowledge of the game. He knows where to make the right pass, but he's just not. But he knows what he's doing. But do you got skills, Coach? Tell me how you grew up.
Well, man, I grew up in Durham, North Carolina. I went to Durham, Riverside. So if you look and see, we were some ballers back then. I was a two sports star, but I focused on football because Courtney Alexander, who went to UVA, played in my high school, and David Covington, who is one of the leading scorers at East Carolina. So I could play, but they were great. So, I was the man on the football field. So I devoted most of my time on there. I then got in, like I said, I got into the military, went to North Carolina Central for a year and a half. And then I went into the military. And then from the military, I started playing all Army basketball. And that's when I really learned how to play basketball. And
what position you play?
I was point forward. So I was point forward, played that position. And so played and then got out of, playing in the military. Military leagues, if you're ever in the military, post games are like the Peninsula tournament. So got to do that. Then once I got out of the military, got into coaching. And so I really learned that I knew how to play, but not how to coach. When I got to Kecoughtan with Coach Thomas, I really realized I didn't know how to coach. Got my first head coaching job at Kecoughtan in 2009, and we went 0-19.
Wow.
First, 0-19. And because,
what year was that, Coach?
That was 2009.
I have a younger brother who was Lee Martin the athletic director back then?
Yes,
that's my boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rashad Wright was the principal.
Yep.
And
Rashad, that's my frat brother from VCU. I that dude.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess Coach Thomas is frat for you too. No, Coach Thomas. He's Kappa.
He's a Kappa, but he went to VCU. A little younger than me, but yeah, I referee basketball in Northern. I refed a lot of TC games back in the day.
Yeah.
And only thing, I'm gonna just say this. I'm bitter because TC beat Bethel in that state championship. And so that's the only thing kind of hold against him. But I had a lot of family that went to TC, and he brought the first state championship back to Northern Virginia in 27 years. So I got love for that.
And that's crazy because whatever we talked to him, he said, "Yo, man, it's deja vu." And so, really, Coach Thomas has been a blessing because he's helped me with the anxiety and the pressures of being in this moment because he was in this moment, and so he's helped me realize, people say, it's hard to beat a team 3 times, and so when I taught it that, he said, "No, it's not. I mean, look at sports, look at baseball, look at look at most." Look at most conference championships. You got to beat the team twice. You got to beat them again in the conference. So, but he's really helped me in the leadership, preparation, how to guide, how to prepare the team, things to do, and things of that nature. Like I said, along with this amazing coaching staff and that's one thing he's helped me out with is that if you try to do it all yourself, you're not going to be able to do it. No great enterprise or business has been done by one person. It's always a team. Yeah. And so we've been able to, to share the pressures. Right. Tonight, I'm not the only coach that's going to watch game film until 2:00 in the morning. It's going to be 5 of us. You know what I mean? It's just being able to share the wealth and, things of that nature. So, so that's how I got into it. Left Durham, played ball, got in the military. Then, like I said, got into coaching by meeting Art Jones. Art Jones allowed me to come to Kecoughtan and be his assistant in 2005. Then I got into school security and went over to Heritage with the legendary Coach Dennis Katoufis.
Love Coach K.
Yeah, and Coach K allowed me to come in and learn. And he introduced me to one of my role models, Ben Moore. And I was just able to sit at their feet and learn not only how to coach, but how to impact lives. And so, I've been blessed. I've been blessed to sit under Kerry Forrest and sit under Art Jones and to sit at the feet of Dennis Katoufis and Ben Moore and Stanley Bland, and then to come and sit under Ivan Thomas. That was just so I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed with some of the basketball godfathers. And so I'm just thankful that I've been able to have these mentors to be able to help me out. And then, to be able to pick up the phone, like I said, and call guys like Howard White and be able to conversate with them and, all of the alumni from Kecoughtan that's went on to coach, Coach Brown, even though he's at Pitt, he checks in,
that's good.
Another Chuck Moore. Chuck Moore, who is, was a wonderful player at Kecoughtan, won a national title with Richard Bland, he checks in and, things of that nature. So I've been blessed. I've been truly, truly blessed to have these guys to be able to rely on. And so from that, having the pressures of this moment, I'm able to, help our guys and help our program with how to deal, with this moment. And it's, it's exciting. It's exciting to just live in the moment. I think sometime in life, we forget about just how precious life is. And so we're so worried about the pressures of life, we forget to enjoy life. And so that's what we're doing. I mean, we're just enjoying this time. And it's been a long time since Kecoughtan has been the #1 team in the state. And a long time since we had a 20-game win streak. Long time since we played at the Scope. So, I mean, it's been a long time since people can say Kecoughtan correct. So, we just
Kecoughtan.
Yeah, correct.
All right, the pressure is on. I'm picking Kecoughtan to win the state championship because I truly think you're going to win it. But you've got LC Byrd, you got Potomac Falls, and I didn't get a Stonebridge score. But then you've got the Indian River District down there, and once you get to the state tournament, everything's going to go up a level. And you could very well, when you beat Menchville on Friday night, you could face Woodside. Woodside could beat Maury. So the path doesn't get any easier, but that banner would definitely mean a lot. Mr. Howard White, out in Oregon. I know that, he had a heart transplant last year, and, he's great alumni of Kecoughtan with that rich tradition, Coach Hathaway. And then, we talked on before camera. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the work that Brett Harper's doing?
And Brett Harper has been instrumental this year, not from only his experience and his words of wisdom, but also with his organization, Fox Hill Foods. They came in and they were able to help out with the not only with the financial side, but they also did the nutrition aspect. And so they have a marination sauce, marination, if that's a word, marinara sauce. That's the word, marinara sauce. And it's actually built for athletes. And so you can take that, gives you the things that your body needs to be able to give that, that nutrients and ingredients that you need for, recovery and strength and things of that nature. So he came over and gave us a truckload of that, of those sauces for the guys to go home and for them to have, for pregame meals and after and post-game meals and things of that nature. So our guys are able to keep the right fuel in their body, instead of eating Chinese food and Chick-fil-A.
That's important, yeah.
Yeah, that's important, and then, like I said, having the support and the backing and the sponsorship of, Brand Jordan with, alleviating having, as coaches, you got the sweatsuits and the gears and the basketballs and things of that nature. So making sure that we're outfitted, making sure that we have, sponsorship, and just other things that Howard White and Brand Jordan has done, with giving our guys the opportunity, to be put in a situation to where they have this backing for, school endeavors and things of that nature. So, and then this year we were able to get involved, with the community through a guy named G Hicks with Party with G Entertainment. He reached out to me and said he liked what we were doing, and he became our DJ. And so people was like, how in the world can a DJ be effective? But this year was the cave. Like, coming to the cave was an experience. I mean, just from, just every time we scored a basket, he had sound effects that would just irritate the life out of the players in the stands, and just being able to keep the energy in the gym. So it was really
big time, man. Oh, I love that.
It's big time. And then, he provided,
that sounds like a CIAA atmosphere, Coach.
Listen, I'm telling you this. We had it, I mean, from the cheerleaders to the student section. I mean, it was really just an experience. It was really like a HBCU, CIAA,
Yeah.
So it was really, really home court advantage for us. And like I said, playing in the PD, playing those teams. And like I said, we have a great road to travel, on this way to 5. But also, I mean, it's been a great road to travel on our way, to 21. So we talked about being tough and winning 21. And if we can make it through 21, then 5, we believe those that are going to be with us in 5 didn't have to travel the road that we did with 21. And like I said, the PD it's a gauntlet every year. So, you name, the Woodsides and the Bethels and the Hampton, and the Phoebus, I mean, you go play those teams, and then you can't look down on the Warwick and the Menchvilles, so things of that nature. And so being able to be battle tested through that, I think, has helped us where, some of these other coaches are kind of, they kind of can look at their schedule and know that they're going to get 13, 14 wins, off top. We don't know that. We have to come out and prepare, play every year. So, like I said, we're battle tested, man. And I think it's helped us, look at the chink in our armor and being able to address the things in which we need to address. And, I think we're ready. And so, like you said, every day we look up and I tell them, hey, it's something missing, and we have that opportunity to do it.
Yeah. So I just want to encourage folks. Brett Harper, that nonprofit, www.foxhillfoods.com. Check it out. Donate. I know Kecoughtan Warriors from around, that are around the world. A lot of friends still there, but a lot of friends that have branched out, and that's a great cause. A good friend, Stan Ham, who was friends with Howard, who graduated in 1970. Actually had Brett Harper on his podcast, the 757 Sports Connection, which is on Facebook. We gotta give a shout out to Stan.
Right.
Great interviews. Check him out. But make sure Brett gets that. And is there any way your guy Party with G for entertainment? Anybody down there wants to hire him? Is he on Facebook? Is he on social media? Or
Yes, it's Party with G, GEE.com. He's also Party with G on Instagram. He's actually doing something now that's real big. It's called a silent parties, where they're doing the things, with the headset. So you can go into a room. And if you've ever been to a silent party, it's one of the most crazy experience of your life. You see two DJs and you hear.
I've heard about that.
I'm gonna tell you, man, it's like it's crazy. Like you see everybody bobbing and you like, I don't hear no music. But I mean, it's like, and but G does great work, just from party scenes to music producing, also as far as weddings and banquets and things of that nature, corporate events. He's also up for the top producer in the country right now. So we're cast your votes. I think it's SEL voting. I think you can go there, but just look up Party with G, and he's a great record producer, doing things. And I just love his heart, just the way he was willing to to come out, help us out. He didn't beat us over the head, as some other DJs here wanted to do, and he really became a part of the family. One thing that was special about him, he gave out Player of the Game awards.
That's nice. That's nice for the kids.
It was just an extra incentive, for the girls and for the boys program. It just wasn't, even though he came to support the boys, he became a part of the program, and he supported the girls. He supported the girls. He got the music for the cheerleaders so that, they could do their dance routines and, things of that nature. So there was Kecoughtan alumnus who were doing music, and if they were aspiring singers, inspiring artists, he would play their music during the home games, so, things like that, it's just really something in which we wanted to build. We just didn't want to have a basketball team. We wanted to have a brand. And so, it became the brand, and it became known as the Kecoughtan. It was the cave experience, and so people were coming for the cave experience. So so we just been blessed. They got to see a great brand of basketball. They got to see great entertainment. We had a great public announcer. Coach Super was the announcer, and let me tell you,
my guy.
Listen, Coach Super he sounded like Michael Buffer. And war. I mean, it was just a wonderful time. It was a wonderful time. And like I said, all of these things coming together. Our wonderful administrative staff, from Dr. Whiteman and Mr. Reggie Crawford, who is in charge of athletics, and Dr. Grove and Dr. Williams, and all those teachers that have helped us out, keep the guys straight and things of that nature. So it's really been wow, I'm so glad that they brought sports back, because a lot of times sports, we are the ambassadors for the school. We are the ambassadors, for the pride in the school, and the students need it. With dealing with virtual learning and all that. It gives them something to be proud of, and it gives these young men and young women, these student athletes, something, these life skills that they need to, when they get out into the real world and things of that nature. And I know we all know a coach that has helped shape our life, and we all play sports that have, shaped our life. Maybe met a best friend, or maybe, met somebody who, you went to a job interview and they said, hey, I remember you played on my rec league soccer
Yep.
team,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's why sports is, virtually important. So we hope all come together, and hopefully with the blessings of the picks that we can be right there playing on that court that's over your shoulder. And, that's our goal, and, that's our dream.
So,
Cool. Good stuff.
let me ask you, because I'm a little confused, Rusty. Matt Hatfield told us this. So if you make it to the finals, which you're going to, all right, that's going to take 8 teams to Richmond. But Rusty, is only the Final Four in Richmond?
So I think they used to do the semis in Richmond. Now they do just the finals in Richmond, if I'm not mistaken, Coach. I think I think they're playing the semis at those regional sites.
Right. So you play. So what they've done now is you play. So I'll do it for our regions. You did a first round bye, and then you have the third supposed to be the third seed to host it, but some do the higher seeds or whatever. And then you go to a neutral site for the regional semi and finals. Then when it's the state, you go to a semifinal site. So like a state site. So for us, we're blessed to be the number 1 seed, and we have to find a neutral site for us to go play that's not in our gym. So we would have to go to HU, CNU, Heritage, Woodside, somewhere like that to be able to play, play it out. Then once you get to the semis and the finals are at VCU. Now
so they are at VCU.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I thought for 1 year or two that they did something where they did the semis outside of Richmond. But no, that's great. I'm glad, because for years I have gone. If I wasn't reffing, I was right there, and I loved. I could just sit there, and back in the day, you could just sit there all day. But I know they've done these things where you got to leave and then come back and
for a different class. Yeah, so they do it by classes, so you can stay for all of the class 4 games, and then they exit out, and then class 5 comes. But all people do is just buy extra tickets. You know what I mean? Because even. If you're paying $60 and you're seeing, 8 to 10 games of some of the best high school in the area, Now the only thing that Northern Virginia and us here down in the Tidewater area that we say is that the Richmond teams have a little head up against us, because that's where their regional championships are.
Yeah,
so their
that's true.
At VCU. And so, if you make it to the regional championship, you're automatically in the state. So they've already played, and they're already familiar with the gym. And so, we went through that of those 2 years with Coach Thomas, where we had to play Petersburg and we had to play Henrico. They had already played, at VCU. So,
you were on that staff when they I was there. Okay. Yeah, bro. So look, I got my I'm a basketball referee, so I got my VHSL card. I ain't paying the $6. I'll go out, but I'm coming right back in. But do they still do? They used to have the coaches. Like a little room where the coaches could go and get food.
Yeah, we'll be in there. Don't worry. And then I'll text you, and when your boss gets there, I'll just act like I'm part of your staff.
Hey, come on. Come on with us, man. Kirk, you just come on through the door, man. We got you, baby.
Coach, if y'all make it to the finals, can I sit on the bench?
I want to sit on the end of the bench.
Coach,
like
I want to. If you up by some of these scores I seen, you up by 50, 60 points. Can I call a play? Can I call it?
Listen. We up by those scores at VCU. I don't care who called the play. You know what I mean?
I know that. I know some of those guys in the NFL. Somebody be like the friend of the owner or the head coach, and to be a celebrity, they'd be like, "Can I just call a play?" They want to.
Definitely.
Real quick on the game. Once you get to the quarterfinals, which is eight teams, are you married to another region? In other words, Yeah,
Yes.
which region are you going to be playing, regardless?
So we are 5B. So we will play either the runner-up or the champion of 5A. And then
let's see who we got there. All right.
Right.
Coach, we're gonna have to have another show because I talked about this, man. Now, is it always like that now? A versus B?
Oh, Coach, you got that.
Coach.
You
I
got that.
refereed in the Northern region, and it was a reason they didn't win the state championship for 27 years until some of this stuff got changed where you're going to always have a Fairfax school in the final.
You're good to go there.
I'm just saying, why y'all got to knock each other out?
Listen, you put me on the soapbox. So I'm just answering his question.
Yes.
To everybody who's going to send this to the VHSL and to my AD, understand, Rusty, I'm responding to his question. So here it is. So since I'm on my soapbox, I'm going to just respond to your question. Here it is. If you look at it, even in our Region 5 that we're playing in, as tough as the Peninsula District has been, we're having to play each other all over again. So you have a great team in Woodside. You have a great team in Menchville. And so now we have to play each other. So now we have to battle with each other all over again through the Peninsula District. And then we gotta one of us. So two of us are gonna go home. One of us gets to play on. And then from there, now we have to play more. So now, or more Woodside, or it could be Norview or whatever's in the region. And so now you're fighting and knocking each other out. And then you have other regions who they can literally just go ahead and pencil themselves in. Because they playing like the Daughters of the Blind and the Sisters of the Poor. I'm looking at these other regions, and like the number one seed got like 6 or 7 losses. And if you look at us right now, with the final 4 teams in our region, nobody has over 5 losses. Mm-hmm. And the losses that they've had are coming from the teams that are still playing. So it's crazy. You know what I mean? But we can't cry with spilled milk. This is the hand, that we've dealt. And so, if you're a good spades player, you know how to get bored even when you don't have no aces. So, that's what we try to do.
Hey, that's right.
Coach, I think you're going to see LC Byrd in the championship. That's what I think.
Okay.
I was at Potomac Falls tonight. Good team. Very well coached. I think I texted you a couple of things. They won about 40-something. Wow. No offense. And Coach Hall's a great guy. He's won 2 or 3 state championships. And quite frankly, I'm sorry, he does not have the talent that Richmond and Hampton Roads has. But, I think if you make it to the championship, you're probably going to be playing, LC Byrd. So, it's been a pleasure to have you on here. We know so many people.
Man, it has. This has been a blessing. I'm glad we got to meet you, man.
Yeah, man, it's been wonderful. I think, after the season, man, we'll do something like on location at the golf course or something. We'll just, have a sit down. Well, we go to a buffet or something and then just have some real talk.
There you talking my talk. There we go. Buffet, bro.
Do a golf fundraiser at that golf course that wasn't there when we were there. They got like 2 or 3 of them. What's it called, Rusty? Out near Simple Farm, Langley, whatever.
Oh, I ain't never played golf.
You'll sell that out. Do a fundraiser. Get super in there.
You telling my secret, man.
We'll get Coach Newsom down there. Great Kecoughtan football coach. Johnny Pauls is still around.
Correct.
Great alumni.
You telling my secrets for next year. That we got something rolling out the bag next year, but I think you just let the cat out the bag. But that's the first.
Just let me in on it, and I'll get your attendance up. With all of my friends.
You already there, assistant coach Kirk. You know what I mean?
Hey, coach, I'm telling you, man, you are the man, coach. Look, I tell you, I told Coach Struthers a little earlier tonight. You know, I didn't care who came out of the, you know, long as the PD team. Man, I got to break that down another level. So you represent Hampton, the HPT. All right. So
Kecoughtan.
Now look, I would love for either of you to win, but you just kind of sold me. So look, get those dubs, all right?
Yep.
And we'll do just like we did with the Stonebridge football coach, Mickey Thompson. We'll have you back on when you win the championship. And bro, I mean, again, you got Coach Hall on your bench, and hey, Richard is rusty, you know, Lewis Driving School.
Hey, I can't wait to call it DeVar and tell it, man. You know?
Man. So, man, just Coach, we're praying for you. I love your attitude, and we just want nothing but the best for you. And you know what, Coach? I want you to win. You're going to win, but if you don't, I think the greatest thing I can tell is that you are impacting lives. Yes, you know, and so that's what I'm proudest of, because you know what? That's what somebody did to Kirk and I to make us do what we're doing right now.
Right.
So I appreciate that's the biggest thing, man. I'm praying that y'all stay healthy, that y'all win it all, and that these kids go on and do great things.
Yeah.
Right. And I really say this, and I tell Matt all the time, you have a lot of guys out here that are using these social media platforms just to promote nonsense. But I truly appreciate you guys giving this opportunity, because, you know, somebody watching this could say, you know, hey, let me call it Menchville, let me call it Kecoughtan, let me call it Potomac. And so from your platform and professional, how you're doing it, you know, it's not just thrown together. And what you guys doing are, you know, you're giving another resource and a platform for these student athletes, you know, reach their goal, which all of us have the mindset of getting them to an opportunity where they can do this and, you know, get a free education. And it's something nobody can take them away. So I applaud you guys. Thank you guys. I play lessons over everything that you do, and keep on keeping on, man. I'm gonna like it, I'm gonna share it, I'm gonna put it on my social media platforms, not just because of me and the interview. I just want to make sure that you
Thank you, man.
are supported and reached up. And there's anything I could do for you, man, just let me know. You know, maybe next year for our Howard White, you guys can come on and I'll get you an exclusive interview with Mr. White. And so, you know, we can do things like that, man. But I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, and Coach, when we have you back on, and we will have you on, win or lose, you're going to win. We also, one of the things we do is we spotlight players. Then we don't spotlight basketball players during the season because it's too many games back to back to back. So, but during football season, we would have athletes on the show. But we wait for basketball. We're going to wait till after the season. But especially if you have any seniors, and I'm not saying just because they have the highest scoring average, you may want to bring the one with the best GPA. But bring on some seniors with you, Coach. Let's talk about them, give them their props, give them some love, and let the people know about who's been impacted in your program.
And I think that's a great thing to do, especially in this time of COVID, to be able to hear from the student athletes how they were able to overcome everything and graduate. So I mean, you know, this class of 2022 had to go through COVID 2 years, and then come back without being able to play, to come back into the area. So I think that's a great show, and I'll be honored to bring my guys and and just let them talk. And I think administrators and rule makers need to hear just how effective and how they make these rules, how it can help or affect them. So I think that's a great thing. So after we get this ring, man, we'll be definitely happy to come on back on the show.
Coach.
After I take both of y'all to dinner, you know what I mean, on me. And
buffet.
Yeah, buffet.
Captain George's.
Listen, man, that's right down my alley.
There you go.
Hey, man, that used to be my joke. Bro, back in the day what was the one that used to be? Was it Ryan's?
House, Shoney's, all that,
we still got Golden Corral down there.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Rusty, I'm sorry, but we're going a little higher than that. Okay, come on. Help me out. Hey, before we close, I do want to say this. With all the social media and mass media now, and all the blame, sports has become it's huge, multi-billion dollar. all you got to do is look at Kecoughtan. You got to look at a guy like Howard White, grew up in Phoebus, was selling shoes out of the back of his car in the early 80s. What he's doing now is the executive vice president. We are going to have Morocco Rock Brown be a general manager of an NFL team soon. Gerard Mayo is going to get a head coaching job. We know Doxy Jordan is an executive. I believe he moved over to J&J from Novo Nordisk. Dwight Hollier was head.
I played against those two. I'm about to have them on the show. Those two. I want to get them on the show together.
Yeah, and Dwight, after his NFL career, got his master's in counseling. He's working for the NFL. He's back in Chapel Hill now. And then, I know other alumni that have started their companies. They're at the C level. There's judges, there's attorneys, and, those kids can look to people at their own high school, that paved the way. They don't necessarily need to look at the glamour and all that. And, people, swear on Coach Kurt Newsom, great friend of mine, lifelong friend, signed one of your basketball players. He's in good hands. Johnny Pauls, Roger Hathaway, Revis Conrad. So, Coach, when we get to Richmond, get us in for free. We'll make it worth your while. And look at
I even got a Jordan shirt, so you can look official. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I bought an Air Jordan shirt this
on
weekend.
The real, Coach. On the real, if you got it, I love gear. This is what we're gonna do, Coach. We have Kirk and Byrd shirts. I'm gonna get you a Kirk and Byrd shirt, okay? And if you just anything to say Kecoughtan basketball.
Look, man. Listen, man. I'm gonna tell you how official we are, baby. I got you. See, I'm going in the box right now. Got y'all right here, man. Y'all got.
Warriors, come out and play.
You ready, man? We got you.
Coach, for real, on the real. Hey, look, y'all, I don't care if this make the show or not, we cut it out. Hey, Kirk, let me get his cell phone number, because we do this one segment where we say, who named somebody in your phone that's popular.
Right.
I want to be able to say, yeah, I can text Coach G and he'll hit me back.
I got his number.
On the real, bro, I want to
his number,
prayers and thoughts. I'm not going to bug you, Coach, but I want to be able to just bless you along the way.
Yeah. I got you, bro. I'll listen.
Hey,
hit me anytime.
Tell G, if he's old enough, tell him he can get us with a Pee Wee Herman dance at the Plaza Roller Rink on Main Street, baby.
Listen,
right as you get in there for this. If you know what that is, that's the day.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you the crazy thing about, and I talked to him, man, about. So we played Gloucester, and Gloucester is a different genre.
Oh, we know.
Yeah. So like we're at the game and we come out of halftime and the Gloucester fans are going in, and I'm over there like, what is he playing? And he's like, man, listen, I do this. I mean, and they're just going in, and I'm like, okay, G, all right, I got it. So so listen, he got you. He probably got Pee Wee Herman's second album out. You know what I mean? So he got.
Yeah,
man, we can do this all night. So, Coach, thank you so much, bro. Again, I will now. I can't make it down Friday, but I'll be watching on the VHSL. I mean, the National Federation High School League site. So I'll be watching it, and I really do wish you well. All right,
keep your prayers, man. Keep us in our prayer. Yes, sir. Stay safe, and thank you for the opportunity once again. I truly appreciate it.
Yeah, Coach, y'all are going to do it. You tell your kids y'all going to do it, because that's the way life works. Life's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You got to have the mindset of you're going in there, you're going to beat Menchville and execute. Let go of the outcome. Tell your kids to let go of the outcome. Trust the process. We want to see that banner. We want to come down. We want to get some Air Jordans, kick it with G, Wilkes Barbecue. We take you down there to Phoebus. And then maybe
Martin Seafood, M&M's, man, we got you, baby. We got you. And like I said, we're
going to go to Tommy's.
We're going to go to Tommy's, you know what I mean?
Tommy's is cash only, man. It's real.
And so just like I tell the guys, we have a quote, Howard White, you just got to believe to achieve. And that's what we're doing. We're believing to achieve.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All
Well,
right,
good.
Coach.
Thanks a lot, man.
All right, man.
Appreciate you,
Thank
bro.
you, guys.
God bless and
God
good
bless
luck,
you.
man. We are
Sir.
rooting for you. Rusty, take us out, man.
Kirk and Byrd are out.
We're off like a prom dress, like when I went to the Kecoughtan prom.
Like when I went to the Denby prom.